Train by day, Kyle Wigginton podcast by night, all day.
Malcolm Ross.
The government name.
Malcolm Ross.
The government name.
What's up, man? Dude, you're the only guy that can make me look small in this fucking camera. Look how big he is. You buff son of a bitch.
I've just been eating. I have not lifted weights in a whole year.
It's natural, man. It's just genetics, right?
No, I eat a lot of protein, like steaks, eggs. Like my new thing is brown rice, 2 eggs, smoked salmon for kake, and microgreens with like a Japanese barbecue sauce. So good. I'll eat like 2 of those a day and then be good for the rest of the day.
Sounds good, actually. Why don't you bring me one of those again? I don't even know half the words you said were, but you made it sound so good.
I love it.
It was the way you said it.
I love it. Like I didn't, so back in the day, whenever my dad, I think, couldn't work, he had to like make food what we had. And then one random day he made eggs and rice. I'm like, ugh, who the fuck decided to put eggs and rice together? Then I ate it. I'm like, oh, it's fine.
Dude, that's how I gained a lot of weight. We were talking outside about the last film that I did. That's how I gained all the weight for that was I eat eggs and rice and just ketchup every night.
That'll do it.
Yeah. It's
Don't do the ketchup. That ketchup will get like, it'll sneak up on you.
That was the whole point though. I was trying to gain some weight. I was trying to get
so you just wanted dirty gains. You wanted
dude, dirty
Tom Hardy
gains.
and Bane gains.
That's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be like this. I was trying to go for Harvey Weinstein. Yeah, just like that fat, ugly, gross guy.
There's no coming back from that. I don't think there is. The Christian Bale, you know how like Christian Bale, he does that. He'll like lose weight and gain weight for roles. He played Dick Cheney. Did he gain weight for that, or was that a suit?
I think there was some prosthetics in there, but I think that he does the work. Like he actually puts it in. Bro. Well, I mean, he did it for Batman and also
like there's a
Machinist.
big difference between like getting shredded and getting just big.
Well, no, so in he did the Machinist, right? Where he
I haven't seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he was like so skinny. He was so skinny that they were telling him like, bro, you need to start eating. Yeah. And he was like, no, I want to lose like 5 more pounds. And then he did Batman right after that. So he went from that to Batman. Like in like 2 months.
Whatever his mind over matter techniques are, I need to learn them because there's no way.
Bro, he's got to be on sauce.
I mean, I think most actors are on sauce.
To go from that to that, you got to be on something.
Yeah. No, I forgot. There was some video I watched online from a personal trainer. He's like, I'm a personal trainer. I'm going to tell you, nobody's going to go from that body fat percentage to this. Like he was talking about Chris Hemsworth and Thor from like his model days to his Thor days. They're like, there's millions of dollars on the line. You're going to take that needle. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
It does make sense. I kind of want to try some now. Not just, the TRT is what I want to try.
TRT.
Yeah, the testosterone replacement therapies.
You think you're at that age where you need that though?
Well, I mean, clearly, if you look at my body, I'm not there where I need it. But I think that like
probably around 50s.
Well, they say it starts slowing down about right now. At mid 30s is when it starts slowing down. But I think it starts slowing down if you have a poor lifestyle too. My lifestyle is pretty good. Like I eat healthy, I work out all the time. So I mean, I'm constantly like using testosterone, so I'm still producing it. But I do think that like that drive that I had when I was younger, and it could be just because of experience that my drive's down, but that like drive to go do things, not just sexually, but like the drive to succeed, like that's kind of like diminished a little bit.
I think that's a part of turning 30 or passing like a certain threshold at 30, because I will admit that, I kind of feel that way too, but I also still kind of hate it. Like there are moments I find myself feeling safe in the day, and I'm like, ugh, I don't want to fucking feel safe with this.
Like, what do you mean? Give me an example.
So I no longer fear somebody like trying to take my car or attacking me. I'm like, you better, if it happens, I'm like, you better like either leave this situation unscathed or kill me right now, because you just lit a green light that I've been waiting to kill.
Yeah. I feel that's that rage inside of us. I feel that,
because like I feel like I've reached an age where I'm like, look, I don't have fucking time for your shit, dude. Like I just don't. And if you hinder my day in any type of way, I'm like, fuck you.
That rage is gonna come out. You about to get it. Yeah, I saw that. There's a video online of this guy who works at McDonald's, and somebody walks in, like puts a gun in his face and is like, give me the money. And he's just like, like, do you really want to fucking do this? Like, it's kind of how I feel too. Like one night I was on Bourbon Street and I hated working down on Bourbon Street. Like I like where I'm at now, but I hated working down there. And one night I had this like fucking this rage anxiety like build up in me. And I was like, I need to go walk. I remember walking down, it wasn't Bourbon. It was Decatur, I think is what it was. Just fucking in rage mode. I was like, I hope somebody steps to me and tries to rob me. I felt the same way, dude. But like, I think you just got to get it out sometimes.
Oh no, definitely those like small fits of aggression. That's why I need to start doing more cardio. It's very few and far in between where I actually feel physically exhausted. I feel tired, but I haven't like exerted enough actual effort or energy to justify feeling tired. Mm-hmm. It's just more of like this mental fog.
Oh yeah.
I've been doing like lion's mane mushrooms. They help, but they're intense. Like I would probably do them every other day and not every day.
What do they make you feel like?
Adderall. It feels almost exactly like taking Adderall.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. It like, I like it, especially back when I was driving trucks, because if I didn't get nothing but like 6 or 4 hours of sleep, I just pop 2 drops of those mushrooms and I'd be good to go. But
where are you getting them from?
The lion's mane. There's this place called Life Cycle. You can get it. Like it's like
in New Orleans.
No.
You gotta order it.
I think it's from California, either California or Arizona. I'm not 100%, but it'll pop up on your Instagram feed. Life Cycle endorsed by so many like jiu-jitsu practitioners.
It'll definitely pop up now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see it tonight. I'll order me some. I'm gonna try it.
I've been trying it. I'm still on my same 3 vials. I got like the cordyceps, the lion's mane, and forgot what the other ones were, but one's for sleep, one's for focus, and one's just for energy throughout the day. And the lion's mane one, it's like it I don't know what it's firing off, but it's working for sure, because I definitely feel more alert. I definitely feel more aware, and I don't get tired as quickly as I used to from waking up. But the getting tired thing definitely comes from me like not doing as much cardio as I used to do.
Well, dude, I have to get up and work out every single day, or I'll have
I got to
brain
start
fog.
forcing myself to do it.
Well, it's because that brain fog, whatever that fucking is, as soon as my workout's done, I'm like, I'm fine.
See, that's what I need.
Yeah, but I immediately get up and I go straight to the gym.
Yeah, I need to start doing that for sure. I got about a good month or 2 to myself. I saved up a decent amount of money so I can just like find out what the next adventure is going to be. But the first adventure is going to be like getting my health back to the way I want it to be, especially cardio wise. I just want that deep breath energy generating for sure.
Yeah. You said you have a few months. We were talking about like work and stuff earlier. Like you were saying read the manuals whenever you go to a job. Like what is that about?
So I used to be one of those people in my teens and my 20s that would just get hired at a job and like, I'm here to get paid every 2 weeks, whatever, for this amount of hours. I get paid and I dip and I got home. So I didn't understand the wild and wacky world of logistics and holding companies account, how easy it is to get a company held accountable for things they probably shouldn't be doing. Like I didn't know that certain companies, if they fire you, they'll pay you severance pay up, like any sick days, any vacation days, any days like that, they'll pay you up front for that, because that is, I guess that's what the company said they'd give you, and they can't fulfill that promise anymore. So they're just going to give you in advance and pay it straight out.
So it's like built into their company policy. It's not like
some companies have that.
Is it like state law, or is it built into the policy?
I think it was, I'm thinking it was just a company thing, because I've never worked for any other company that even offered that as a possibility. But then again, this was the most corporate-ish job I've had in years.
And they probably wouldn't even let you know this if you didn't actually.
Oh yeah. If you don't read it, no, like, and then if there's something in the handbook and it's in writing and you've signed it, that's legally binding, and it has to be that version of that year. Cause like every year a company will like add something to their handbooks, and it'll be like the 2021 version, the 2022 version. It has to be that year's version of when you got hired. Because if the version that they only have a signature for you have that's the version that they have to go by, because you didn't sign the new updated one.
Right.
Like any additions or subtractions they did to it, those don't apply to you anymore because you never submitted your signature on this version of what they've printed.
Right.
So if any discrepancies happen at work, that version of the handbook that you have signed with your name on it is the only version they've ever produced or given you access to. So it's the only rules and regulations that you know to go by.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, you're not viable for anything that will or may not go wrong at the workplace because they didn't take it upon themselves to inform you that you need to be updated about your knowledge of the overall company.
Yeah, they basically grandfathered into your old Yeah.
So like whenever we got our handbooks issued in 2021, one of our guys read it and he was like, did y'all know we get like a month's paid vacation at any time? And we were like, no fucking way. Like, yeah, read right here. So right back after back. One dude took his vacation, and another dude took his vacation. Another dude
the
took
whole
his
month?
Dude, like one after another. We just started taking our vacation until they finally figured out like these fuckers, because they didn't change it in ADP to where we'd be limited in the amount of hours we'd be able to request off. We just had a limited amount of hours. So we just did it for the whole month.
Yeah.
So it took them up until I want to say the 6th or 7th guy to be like, look, guys, we know what's going on. It's clearly like an error on our behalf. We'd hope that y'all wouldn't take advantage of it the way y'all would. Like, it's allowed. It's in the handbook. We definitely, I don't know. But yeah, they definitely put a stop to that. That's definitely revised now. But like, yeah, just be aware of the company that you're working for and
their policies.
And especially if you work for a corporation, because I found out like the people that owned our truck lot didn't even own our truck lot. They own the investment assets of the truck lot. So, and that's what had the most, I guess, shares or whatever. So that's what made them believe that they owned the truck lot. Like, no, there's a corporation over the entire company. And then there's people that own the means of production as far as where the trucks are going, the maintenance of the trucks. It's all compartmentalized. It's all complicated and unusual for various reasons.
I mean, for the reasons that it makes shit hard to get done. Like it makes things hard to get changed. It's a problem with America right now is everything's so compartmentalized that it takes, days, if not months, to get one little thing changed.
Yeah, but we can send Ukraine billions.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Second. That's insane.
Dude, I think that's just insane. Money laundering at its finest.
Another podcast sat down and they did the math. And I can't give you exact numbers, but they were like, with the money we've sent to Ukraine, we could have fed the homeless 10 times. We could have fixed our infrastructure 3 times. We could have did this and this and this.
That's because the people in power don't actually want to fix anything because they want to keep you down.
I don't, but like, why here though? We're supposed to be like the beacon, the utopia for the rest of the world. Why let this look like shit?
The wrong people are in power, man. You have greedy people up there rather than people that actually want to make change and do what's right for their constituents.
Right.
And until the system gets changed, so there's an accountability measure in place, like nothing's going to change. You're just going to keep having greedy ass people up there trying to make as much money as they can. Like look at Nancy Pelosi. There are guys out there that follow her trades, like her stock market. There's no way Congress members should be trading stocks.
Oh yeah,
like that should be totally against the law. Their family members shouldn't even be able to trade stocks. But the amount of money she's making off the stock market is fucking insane, dude. Yeah. Like millions and millions of dollars, and no one's batting an eye. No one's saying a thing.
Because the average person doesn't know what to do. Like, I don't know. All I know how to do is boycott, and my little dollars only mean so much at the end of the day. It's my whole like gripe with the system and how it exists is in order to counteract it, you have to get enough participants of it to want to fight against it at the same time, in the same way, for it to make any type of impact. Mm-hmm. Like we can boycott right now, but like unless we got a good million or so of us to go along with it, they're not going to feel that in their pockets. They're not going to feel that in their bottom line. The system's going to do whatever it can to protect itself. My issue is what is getting people that actively see a problem to want to not only acknowledge the problem, want to do something to change the problem, no matter how long it may take. Because we have a bad habit of just losing interest in things once we feel as if the work's done. Like we'll rah-rah about it while it's popping and it's cool, but if it's taking a little bit too long to get resolved, we're gonna move on to this next thing.
That's my problem, dude. I rod for a while and even have a system, designed. I think we've talked about this before, the voting system that I have designed. Yeah, but no one ever wanted to like take it and run with it. Even the people that gripe online, like in the huge podcast communities, like they just want to keep bitching online because they're making money off of it. Like they don't actually want to put their money where their mouth is and make a change. And I emailed these, for 2 straight years. I emailed people. I called people. What's the guy's name? Patrick Bet David.
Who's that?
His podcast is like, it's like a logo of a lion. I don't even know what it's called, but he's a big podcast. He wears a suit all the time.
Suit. Oh, I think I know. Sam. No, not Sam.
Valuetainment is his podcast.
Yeah, the Arab guy.
Yeah. So I reached out to him. They actually called me back. He had one of those people call me back, and I told them the complete idea. And I just don't. We're not really interested in that. And it's all he fucking does is bitch about the system. And I'm like, here's someone offering you a solution. Like it may not work, but this is the best opportunity we have right now. While everyone's rallied behind a situation, everyone's against the government when the government shutdowns happen. Like they're like, how are you going to shut us down? But let certain businesses still go, and then say some people are what they call some employees essential employees. That's such a fucked up thing to say. Like that whole situation should have been shedding a light on the fact that government is the problem, and now we need a solution for this problem. A solution was presented to these people. They don't actually want to change anything. Yeah, because if there's nothing to bitch about, how are they going to make money?
True. Well, there'll always be something to bitch about. You just got to sit around and wait. You just got to sit around and let life do its thing. But I understand what you're saying. That's why I just completely give it up. I've accepted that things are probably not going to turn out the way that they should. Things are going to get worse before they get any better. Like you can already see that. And all you can do at the end of the day, because like I worry about the infrastructure and like how fragile it is, like the whole thing that happened with AT&T recently. Like,
but did you lose service?
Hell no. Okay. I would have freaked the fuck out.
I didn't lose service. My parents did in Arkansas.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost service.
I would have freaked the fuck out, especially if I lived in like Arkansas, like the middle. If I lived anywhere with like acres and acres of land where in between me and my neighbors, it'd be like, oh, I don't have any cell service. Fuck this.
Oh, bro, that's the best place to be.
Heck no, not for me. Not at this current stage of my life. I watch too many horror movies.
No, dude, I feel like if something does happen, do me a favor. If something does happen and cell service goes down, get the fuck out of the city.
Oh yeah, God, yes. Yeah.
Like ASAP, get it as far away as you can. That's why I told my dad, I was like, if the cell service goes down again, you'll see me in a month or 2, but I'm headed back up to Arkansas. Yeah. However I can get there, I'll be there.
No, like whenever COVID was going down, like most of us were like, we're getting the fuck out of this city. Because Katrina was like a prime example of what's going to happen if shit literally hits the fan here in New Orleans. Yeah. Like we've already had a test run. Yeah. So why sit around and try to wait and see what it's going to turn out like when we already know? We already fucking know. Like when Hurricane Ida hit, it wasn't that bad like here, but after like 2 or 3 days, you start to look around and it's like, bro, I gotta grab Dell, turn these lights back on. We need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's crazy how quick things crumble whenever the lights go off, whenever there's no air conditioning.
No food, no water.
Yeah.
Nothing but drugs, guns, and land to roam.
We turn back into animals, man.
Dude, that's what's most upsetting because you want to try to give people the benefit of a doubt just in case like the slightest thing goes wrong. Like maybe it'll take a month before shit hits the fan. Like, nah, it's going to hit pretty quick. All it takes is one domino to fall. Then all the rest of them are like, fuck it. Let's go.
Yeah, man. What they actually say the cause was for the AT&T thing? Did you ever hear about that?
No. Like to this day, it's like I've seen videos that said it was sunspots that they've already been tracking. It's just a normal thing. It was a sunspot, or it was just like a rolling outage. I've heard theories that it was an attack from a foreign entity. Like and even if they knew, they wouldn't really fucking tell us. They really they wouldn't tell us shit at all. They want everything to seem safe and normal and fine, so we go about our daily lives filling their pockets by buying their bullshit. But no, they're not gonna give us any real explanation.
That's another issue that we have right now in this country is the fact that you're never going to actually get a true answer.
Dude, after the whole Epstein, I hate to talk about Epstein for the second time that I've been on here, but after that shit, you should hold everything underneath a microphone glass. Like everything needs to be closely looked at. Everything. Because y'all said for years that no, none of that's happening. You're crazy. No. And now you have so many people that work on like these cruise lines and these hotels and these mega yachts that tell you like what the billionaire, rich and eccentric do with their money. And they're like, bruh, they're up to some fucking freaky shit. Like some stuff that normal people just aren't on. Like legit, they're buying people.
I've been in some sketchy situations in this life. I have some friends that work for pharmaceutical companies that are very wealthy, and the way they talk about the average human, normal humans, and the way they just like look at and move through life is very disturbing. Very disturbing.
Because you have to have some type of emotional detachment to do that job, to do jobs along that line. Like even if I had a job to where no one was directly getting hurt by what I was doing, maybe indirectly, at the end of the day, like over time, that shit's gonna weigh on my soul heavy. Like if there was a chance, like indirectly, I push this button and a family dies, it's like, I don't know what the fuck happened, but I know it's nothing good.
Well, for me, I posed the question of like, why do you not feel that way? You know? Like this is, we talk about, I've said this question many times on the podcast and a lot of people they clam up when I say it, but I asked the question about the Nazis. Like what would a group of people have to do to you for you to go, okay, I'm about to wipe them all out?
Yeah.
Like that's the question that we should be asking, not just going, okay, well, this happened. Like that's the part of history you don't actually hear. And I think the same way with like pharmaceutical companies and stuff is what did the American people do to you to make you want to, you know, make them fat and feed them pills and, you know, just use them to harvest money off of them in their labor their entire life?
Shit, man. I mean, that goes to the theory that maybe the people who run this whole shebang aren't as human as we think they are. I mean, because I used to be really big on conspiracy theories, and then I had a uber Republican sit down and ask me like, Malcolm, all these theories that you believe in and all this subject matter that you like to talk about, the root cause and the root basis of all these theories is the question I want to ask you. What human being do you know that's alive on this planet that would be okay with so many people dying from their actions? And he asked me this question back when I was like 22. And now I'm 34. And now that I'm like from 22 to 34, you start to realize like there's people on this planet that are beyond levels of fucked up that you can even fathom. Like with the dark web, the CIA takes people off of that site every single day for doing fucked up shit that you could only do on the dark web that apparently people are willing to pay you to see. Like the world is filled with darknesses that normal people don't even think of on a consistent basis. So now with the Epstein stuff and now with like when the whole thing with you know how our months are fucked up. Like, we're supposed to have like a 13th month and then for some reason they got rid of it. Like so many things are just drastically different from the way they're quote unquote supposed to be. I don't believe shit anymore.
Right.
I wanted it to be aliens. I don't think it's aliens. When I sent you that link, I'm like, dude, it's real. It's like, wait a minute. It's not real. They're bullshitting us. They're bullshitting us again.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm very skeptical about everything. And, we were talking about this a little bit earlier too, the vaccine that came out. I was super skeptical about that and I didn't take it. And I'm thankful that I didn't take it. There's a lot of people that may feel differently. I don't know. Don't want to put anybody on blast, but a guy might have walked out.
For me, I wish I never took it because I took it during the whole era where it was a clip of Biden being blasted everywhere and him specifically saying, if you get the vaccine, you will not contract or spread COVID. I'm like, all right, fine. She keeps nagging me to get it. My job keeps nagging me to get it. I'm going to get it. If I don't, if this disease is gone, I have no excuse to not get it. And then you get it, and they're like, no, you could still get it. And not only did I get it, I've gotten it 5 times.
God damn.
I've gotten it 5 times, and I've gotten it once a year since 2020.
Bro, you're a super American.
No, that's the shit that pissed me off. Because like, don't lie to me and tell me and give me like the sole reason I'm taking it, and then come out weeks later and be like, oh, we fucked up. You could actually still get it. That's the kicker for me. On top of doing research and figuring out like, oh, this politician got paid for that, and this pharmaceutical company got paid for that, and this lobbyist got paid for that. I'm like, so y'all just fucking playing with our lives for pocket change. That's all this is. It's just a giant game of Monopoly for y'all. Y'all don't give a fuck who gets hit in the crosshairs. Y'all don't really fucking care. And no one's going to trial. No one's doing a lick of jail time. No one's being audited.
Yeah.
But like the way I see it is some politicians fucking owe us some money, bro. Some money. I lost like my whole way of life got uprooted from
mine too.
Shit.
Yeah.
Like people to this day, we're still like, we don't know what the real information is.
Dude, I basically lived off savings because I think my unemployment checks they were giving us was like $80 a month. And I even called them. I was like, "What? Yeah, I can't survive off this. Like, what am I supposed to do? You guys I was literally running a business, and the business was shut down.
Yeah,
and now you're giving me $80 fucking a month. Like, what is this?" So I basically burned through all my savings to survive, and I was like, "This." That's where I kind of like the switch flipped, and I was like, something here is not right.
Once I realized that there's ultimately nothing I can do about it, and while the riots were happening as well, I'm like, bro, all right, this is all bullshit. Because I'm gonna go outside because I can't stay in this apartment by myself and not talk to anybody. And like, what you're trying to do is tell me I can't be around anyone. Period, whatsoever, unless I'm spending money at a grocery store or spending money at a restaurant. I'm not allowed to go anywhere. This something ain't right. The math ain't mathing. Because if I'm in a restaurant wearing a mask and then 2 days later I get COVID, one of these things ain't fucking working. It's either your vaccine, the mask, or all 3.
Have you contracted it?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I've caught it like 4 or 5 times now.
It's like a weird flu. It's like weirdest.
It's like a 3-day thing.
Yeah.
And then I'm over it. And every time it seems like it gets a little easier to kick too.
Again, I get different symptoms, but I can tell that's what it is because the fatigue is the same.
Fatigue, yeah.
The fatigue is definitely all the same. And like once you do that first hit of NyQuil, and you're like, oh, fuck, I need to just like, for this first day, I just need to not do shit. Like nothing. Don't try to do anything at all. And then as the other days progress, it's like, okay, I can move around. I can taste. I'm more energetic than whatever.
See, I've never lost the senses of taste and smell like some people did.
I think that may have come from like what people have eaten. Cause I got it mildly, but I will say I was eating a lot of spicy stuff. I was burning the shit out of my tongue. I will say I was nuking my tongue for sure. But yeah, I wish I never got it because there's just so much conflicting information coming out about it now. And also, I don't feel as if it didn't do anything that my normal immune system wouldn't have done, you know? It made it like, I don't even know how it's supposed to work. Whenever they tell you it's like an mRNA vaccine, I'm like, bro, I haven't been in high school in years. I don't know what these terms mean.
See, that was why I didn't take it, because I did some research. I know a little bit about these things. And I was like, there's no way that this, because they were saying that this doesn't cross the nucleus. And I was like, it does. The RNA is what crosses into the nucleus, because it has to go into the nucleus and go, okay, DNA, this is what we're going to make next. So they were telling you that this is not going to work. And I was like, that's exactly how it works. And even if someone tells you this is how DNA works, bro, they don't have a fucking clue. Yeah. Like, there's really smart people on this planet. Don't get me wrong. But even the smartest ones don't have a clue about DNA. Like, we're still discovering things right now. They just came out with this new study where they're finding new types of cells in the body. And it's like, if you just shot everyone full of a DNA changing drug and you're still discovering there are new cells in the body,
You don't know what's going to happen.
You don't have a clue what's going to happen, man. You're literally experimenting on not just like a segment of the population. You're experimenting on the entire fucking planet. Mm-hmm. And like, thankfully, there are some people that are like, this is probably a bad idea. Like my parents would have got it if I wouldn't have told them. I was like, I don't think this is a good idea. Let's let our immune systems do the talking for us. Mm-hmm. I mean, thankfully, they got sick, but they were able to kick it too. But I mean, I think those are the ones that were most acceptable were the elderly. Yeah,
definitely. No, like I said, I gave him the peer pressure and I got mine. And like the way it was advertised, it was like the end all be all for the whole shebang. So yeah, I went and got it. But I will say, I don't want to say I had chest pains because of the COVID vaccine, because I'm not a doctor. I can't make those type of claims, whatever. But I did start to feel more fatigued after I got it. I did start to feel a lot more.
Just like right after you got it?
Like, I want to say a solid week after I got it. I just didn't want to do anything because I was, since we weren't going to be allowed to work for X amount of time, I was actively going out. I was actively like working out, riding my bike, just bullshit I could do at the park and things like that. And after I got that, all that energy just left me. Like it just, that desire just left me because it was like something I was trying to build habitually that I just completely lost interest in. And I want to say the chest pains that I did have after getting the COVID vaccine did contribute to it. But like I said, I'm not a doctor. I just tried to compare what was the change that happened while I was sitting at home in between getting the vaccine and not getting the vaccine, besides getting the vaccine. And getting the vaccine was the only, I didn't make any huge diet changes. I didn't change my environment at all. Getting the vaccine was the only thing that just made me not want to do shit. It just.
We're about to get weird. You ready to get weird? You ready to get weird?
You see.
Okay. There's this guy. His name is Rudolf Steiner. Mm-hmm. And he was writing around the 1900s when he wrote this. So like the beginning of our, was it century? Is that what it is? I don't fucking know. But 1800s between 1900s, he died like in 1920 or something. So in one of his papers that he wrote, we'll soon have a vaccine that cuts the human being off from the soul.
Wow. And
he wrote that in the early 1900s. Now, right after he passed away was when we had the World War II. And that was whenever the first inoculation of the worldwide inoculation of the flu vaccine went live. So worldwide, we inoculated everyone. So who's to say that these vaccines aren't actually cutting you off from whatever the soul is? It's kind of scary that you said you lost desire to do those things. Like that's actually fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
And the sun has been going through this, it's going through one of its cycles. So that's why the sunspots are active. So what's to say that whenever the sun goes through its cycles, it doesn't reconnect you with whatever the soul is? Because the sun's name is actually soul, mm-hmm. S-O-L, mm-hmm. S-O-U-L. What's to say that we weren't all connecting back with whatever the soul is to go through this like period of enlightenment? And the one way to keep you away from that is to actually shove another vaccine up you and chop whatever that part is out again.
Shit.
Whatever Steiner was talking about. Oh. The whole issue with Steiner is his body of work is insane. It's massive. And some of the stuff he writes and speaks about, it's beyond comprehension.
There's like Crowley stuff.
He's talking, I haven't really studied much of Crowley. I know some of the Crowley stuff is like kind of like degenerate type stuff. Yeah. I think Rudolf Steiner was more on like the straight and narrow path. Yeah. But he talks about the etheric body, the astral body, things like that, and how to connect those three together. And that was where he was taking, because one of the things he says about connecting those three bodies together, because every human has your physical body, you have an etheric body, which is like on the outside of the physical body, and then you have this astral body. So he says that whenever you go to sleep at night, you go into the astral body, but you can't remember anything unless you can connect the etheric body with the astral body. So whenever you can actually connect that's when you can actually pull back your memories from your astral self that goes out at night and plays or whatever. And he said the only way that you can connect that is to have a pure vessel. Like your vessel has to be 100% pure. It's like get the toxins out, get a physically healthy body, and live a pure lifestyle, like mentally. It's like all the bad thoughts gone and stuff too. And the yogis actually talk about this too. The Hindus talk about these things. So one of the things you can do to negate people ever being able to connect those three bodies together and become their higher self, the enlightened one, is you can hurt the body very early on in the process. So whenever you're a baby, what happens as soon as you get born? They start fucking shoving vaccines in you. Like there's a whole list of vaccines you have to take by the time you go to school. And they tell you it's because of the diseases. And some of those might be because of the diseases. But I think that there are also some that are just damaging the body just enough where you can still be a slave wage labor for 70 years and then you're going to die. But you don't ever actually get to your full potential.
I can see that for sure. Cause like, you know what I know about like the whole Rockefeller or is it either one of them, they just design life after school so they can have a steady supply of workers. And like, I'm a father. I don't know what type of shit they were stabbing into that child whenever he was being born into the world. I can't even probably pronounce half of that shit, but you can definitely tell, like there's homeschool kids that were born in their mom's like tub naturally and everything. Mm-hmm. And you can definitely kind of tell they're more connected than maybe you and I might be because they didn't get all those pokes and jabs and they didn't get the programming from the public schools and things like that. There's just certain people out there that operate on a different level. Mm-hmm. Like I've since moving here to New Orleans, I've met people who've never worked a day in their life. They've never had like a government job. And I'm like, how? Like, you're 35. Like, how have you never had a job? He's like, I just drift, man. I just do this here and there and things just kind of work out. I've never had a job application. It's a miracle that I've had a driver's license. Like,
I thought you were talking about people that were just born into wealthy families. You're talking about people that just make it.
No, I'm talking about people on the ground level that just make it. And like, yeah, I can't even fathom what the people that were born with money just exist.
I know a lot of those people and many of them have so many issues because they have no,
challenges.
No challenges. Yeah. Like we wake up and we have to go do things to survive. These people wake up and they don't have anywhere to go, anything to do. So a lot of times what do? They turn to drugs. They turn to empty fillers. And so they fill it with those things. Like the guy that wrecked into that dog. Do you remember that?
No, I did see that though.
Yeah. It was like a few years ago now, but the guy that wrecked into that dog fucking inherited a bunch of money and then just kind of fucking started going downhill. And that one night he wrecked into that dog, he got super high off whippets and just drove his fucking Jeep right into that dog. And you know what he did? He didn't get in any fucking trouble because he gave that dog a bunch of money and he walked away from it. That's another problem that we have in this fucking world, that people are just so money hungry that they'll take money for anything. And that's why we have issues like the Jeffrey Epstein.
Well, that was a lot of blackmail too. That was a lot of blackmail. That was a lot, like, because you didn't know who had what on what or access to what.
Oh, I'm just saying the buying human things.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think like water, human lives, and a few of the minerals in the ground. That's what people live for. Cause like, they say prostitution was the oldest profession. What comes along with prostitution? If you really think about it, slavery. Like, you gotta give your cash crop freedom to do whatever the fuck they want, when they want, not have instant access to them whenever you trying to make some money. No. So prostitution and slavery will always exist in some form. Just America's done the finest job of masking it as opportunity or choice. Like, because we know the level that you and I play at are nowhere near the advanced levels of the people that have been doing this for hundreds of years. Like I watched a podcast with a dude who does advertising, and he got to be around like the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the people who own like M&Ms and Mars and all that stuff. And the lady saw him in that meeting and she knew he didn't belong there. And she's like, let me give you some advice since I know that you're not usually in rooms like this. Right now, you looking at some of the most brilliant minds in industry and advertising and everything. Poke their brains for every little nugget of knowledge you can possibly get out of it. This year, we're trying to perfect the 30-second commercial. if you want to be the next trillionaire, billionaire, whatever, you need to perfect the biggest 10-second commercial. And it went so on and so forth like that. Because we don't think the way they think, because we're trying to survive. We're trying to reserve enough brain power to survive for tomorrow. But when tomorrow's guaranteed to you, your brain doesn't have those mental blockings. And you can expand the different ways and directions your thought process can go.
Dude, I've been in some of those rooms. Like, I'll tell you, there's an advertising agency in this city, and there are billboards up all over the place. Mm-hmm. And one day we were shooting a commercial for this company, and I was just on the set. I think I was recording audio that day. I was running audio for the people that were actually filming the commercial. And we started looking at the script, and we realized that the script was about this technology that would link smart cars to billboards. And it would see how many cars drove by the billboards, and it would look at your data from like Google and stuff and Facebook, and it would see what you've been searching. And then they'll put your most search results of the people that are driving by this billboard all day on that billboard, digital billboard.
Wow.
And
optimization.
Bro, we had to sign fucking NDAs out the ass. Yep. Obviously, I don't give a fuck about rules. So come and get it, motherfucker. But I mean, that's some like crazy shit that no one knows exists, and it's out there running right now. Every smart car that drives past these digital billboards, the majority of you are being tracked right now.
Yeah, makes sense. See, the thing I don't understand about the whole advertisement game is, and how they're trying to like, everybody's fighting for eyeballs. I get that. So you let a bunch of illegal immigrants in and give them phones so the ads will be super close to their faces, or you let AI take over completely and utterly to the point where it's not normal humans working at these jobs anymore, and then you're not making your money for these ads. Like, I just don't understand. I don't understand.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah, because like, no, I already see like letting the immigrants in is bringing in a foreign workforce into the country that will slowly but surely become dependent on you. So you will always control where they, like, if you have a phone, you're documented. Like, right. Like, forget the whole undocumented. They know where you are. They know who you are, especially if the government gave you that phone. They know everything they need to know about you, hands down. So if you want the ads to get better to sell to the impoverished and the people seeking asylum that are coming in here, I get that. But at the same time, you're making this advanced AI technology that's automating everything and making everything cool and faster and sleeker. Who are you making ads for? Because it's not going to be, hopefully, us who have already been citizens who have like specialized work skills that can be acclimated into the new economy, whatever it may be. It has to be for the people that are being brought in and their kids, because they're already telling us, they've been telling us for years that the line between the poor, the middle class, and the higher of the upper crust is slowly blurring. There's going to be just the super rich and the super poor. There's not going to be a middle class in between. Mm-hmm. So are these ads being optimized for the peasants to keep them peasants, or are these ads being optimized for the dwindling middle class?
Well, why I said it's a good point is because maybe you just have companies that are competing against each other. Like maybe
for this migrant work.
What's that? No, I'm saying maybe there is no like overall plan. Like maybe you just have the advertisement company that's trying to compete for your dollars, mm-hmm. and then you have the M&M company that's trying to compete for your dollars, and you have all these companies that are all just trying to compete for your dollars, and they end up just keep getting more and more corrupt because they want your money over the other people. Yeah. So like we really have no. But I think that's what the government's supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be regulating these companies, and that's what they're not. Yeah.
That's the fucked up thing. Because like the higher you go up the list, the more you understand like, oh, this company's owned by this company that has shares in that company from over here. It's all the same blanket entity almost. Like it's all
Nestle owns most of it, right?
Yeah, it's so weird. It's so weird. There's supposed to be a bunch of smaller companies, but there's always the one that everything comes from.
That's capitalism, dude. Companies have to keep growing. If they don't keep growing and keep showing gains for their stock, their shareholders, then the company dissolves.
I'm not an economist and I'm not brushed up on my like daily economics, but
I don't know shit either. But there's got to be a solution. You're right.
Yeah, no, like if a company, there has to be some type of fail safe in place for a company that's getting a little too big.
Yeah, it's government. Government's supposed to take monopolies down.
And like government's just the biggest company ever devised.
But I think if you look at the definition of monopolies now, it's been drawn out so much that it's not just one company, owns everything. Like it's because that's my definition of monopoly. Like you have one or two companies that own the majority of it. No one else is breaking into that industry. But I think they've drawn this fucking definition out with lawyer speak and shit like that so much that they can get around all these loopholes. So then you have people that are just getting one loophole after another.
Yep.
That's one of the biggest issues with our society is everyone's just taking advantage of all these loopholes. And it takes so long with bureaucratic bullshit to change these loopholes that people just get away with them forever. And if you make enough money, then you can pay lobbyists to lobby for you and get that loophole in there ingrained in the system for good.
Yeah.
There's a book I'm reading right now. It's called Hacker's Mindset. And a hacker's mindset talks about these things. And it talks about how hackers take advantage of systems. And one of the systems it talks about is the system of America, like our tax systems predominantly. And it says that the reason that rich don't pay taxes is because they're taking advantage of loopholes that could have been changed if they would have been changed at a certain time. But since they had enough money, they paid the politicians to not change them, and now they're ingrained in our system. So the entire system needs to be reformatted and restructured.
And I don't even see any hope of that ever happening.
Dude, I think there's a way, man. And it could be my unfathomable optimism that I have.
Project Bluebeam. That's the only way I see
just end it all.
No, I thought so. My interpretation of Bluebeam is a false alien invasion.
Oh, I was thinking Bluebeam like set everything on fire.
No. I don't. Hopefully, it never comes to that. I want to know what's in Antarctica before that happens. I want to know all the shit.
Well, there are people that they're painting their rooftops blue. Because supposedly in Hawaii.
Yeah, but I saw green though. I saw green as the color. Like if your rooftop's green, then your house is safe.
How did I hear blue?
I don't know. It might be blue. It might be different codes for different reasons. You never know with the government, dude.
Yeah, I heard blue in China, and there's another place that burned too recently, and they said the blue stuff there also didn't burn. So all the people are buying blue paint, and they're painting their rooftops blue. And if you actually look into laser technology, like the blue spectrum is like way off to the side. So it's very different from the other spectrums in lasers. So blue is hard to actually like work with because it's a very high energy. So it makes sense that, blue, because that's what happens. Light absorbs into the color that it is. So it makes sense that they would do that.
No, I wouldn't be. It wouldn't strike me as surprising to understand that some corporation or government entity is burning down property for somebody else to come in and appraise it and make it worth so much more than it actually is. Dude, we gave them the keys to the castle, and now they're just fucking tossing them around to each other and doing whatever the fuck they want. The thing that really trips me out is, that CERN, the owners of the particle accelerator, I think recently they did an interview and like one of their lead researchers was like, look, to be honest, we destroyed the world the second we turned this fucking thing on. Okay. So there's no going back.
How do you justify that?
Because what they're doing is accelerating particles on our planet, not knowing exactly what's going to happen and just like colliding them together and hoping for the best. Like there's really no rhyme or reason for what they're doing besides the sake of science. Like the first time they ever turned it on, they were like, we could create a black hole.
Right.
This like is the same thing with the nuke. Like,
yeah, it's the same thing.
No fucking idea. Like, let's just see if we can do it. No fucking idea exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, do you I actually know the science behind the nuke one. Like, there's whenever you combine the fission or fusion, whenever it comes together, the atoms start splitting apart and hitting other atoms. And they were like, if these atoms start splitting apart and hitting other atoms, they might just keep going and going until everything's done. So I don't know. I don't understand why the guy said we destroyed the world as soon as we turned it on without giving it another answer.
Because I guess,
does he think we actually created a black hole? We're just living in it?
I think that they definitely fuck something up and they don't either they don't know themselves or they don't know enough to tell us to make it sense to us. Because it's a particle accelerator. If just splitting atoms apart can decimate cities. Just imagine smashing two fucking atoms together at a super high speed in this contained space, and you finding like all types of new elements and all types of new metals and all types of shit.
I mean, there are hundreds of particle accelerators. That's just the biggest one.
But
like there used to be a particle accelerator in New Orleans.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it was like a vertical particle accelerator. It's over by the Children's Hospital, I believe. Mm-hmm. And right now it's just an abandoned building, but that used to be a particle accelerator. Like back in the 70s, I think it was.
Lord. Well, I'm thinking the bigger it gets, the more powerful it supposedly gets. Yeah. Therefore, the worse the chain reaction is supposed to get. If there's no specific reason for why we're doing it, then I think we should definitely stop.
For science, Malcolm.
Mean, it's not science that I'm ever going to live to see, because like we're getting brain chips and VR before we're getting any space exploration. Like,
that's a good question though. Like why do they want to know what happens when you smash two particles together? I get the curiosity of it, but there's got to be like a big question, right?
Yeah, no, somebody wants to make a better nuke. Someone wants to make the nuke it's either perpetual energy, which they probably already have the recipe or a method of getting that, or a weapon. Like, those are the only two things I can think of.
Probably a fucking
Because, if you get energy from two particles being smashed together, wouldn't that therefore unleash a whole new world of opportunities as far as like travel in general? Because if you put two particles and smash them together, then all of a sudden creates this stable form of energy that you can turn into some type of battery or generator or anything like that. It would change how we viewed certain aspects of our daily lives dramatically. Well, like, because I've always been told that Edison was good at patents. All the real invention came from Tesla. Mm-hmm. But Edison was just good at, what you got there, buddy? Go into this office and sign this, and like, I don't know.
And one man died poor and the other one died rich.
But that's the thing. One man died poor because the system that he wanted to be so a part of chose to destroy him. Like, they just chose to demonize him and make him sound like a kook and everything like that. And he did have his quirks or whatever, but the advancements that he made as far as science and technology further outweighed him dating a pigeon.
Yeah, well, really smart people are fucking weird, man. Like, yeah. There's a fine line between genius and crazy. And the people that can actually toe it and still get their inventions on paper, like those are the ones we should be listening to. It's like the Teslas and stuff, like the shit that guy was on, man, is crazy. Like, imagine what the different world. I wish I could go back in time and just speak to him.
You probably wouldn't be able to. You'd probably be scared of you.
You think he was that weird?
I think he was very, like from the words I've just read about him, he was very private. He was very cautious. He didn't want his work getting out to certain individuals because you didn't know who was around the corner. Because like, scientists were the rock stars, right? So you don't see Jimi Hendrix hanging out with just anybody. Like, I got to know who you are, dude. You can't just be in my tour bus smoking my weed. I don't know who you are. So yeah, I think it'd be something like that.
Well, especially if you've had all your ideas your entire life being stolen from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably even have more paranoia.
Definitely. But like, I just wanted to see, for me, it's like all the different alternative ways that we have for doing things as compared to how we're doing them now. Because other countries and our military are telling us how fragile our system is on a weekly basis. Mm-hmm. And it's getting displayed to us on a weekly basis that we need, like, most of these things were built in like the 1920s, 1930s, 1950s, and it's been used since those periods of time. And we've done very little to no upkeep or maintenance on the roads that we use, the power lines that we use, the railways that we use, the nuclear power plants. Like,
and Americans are still paying tax money too. Like, it's like, where's that money going?
Yeah.
We're still paying for it. It's just not getting done.
And everybody's going to be complaining real soon about jobs and job security and everything. It's like, okay, so you're going to have this huge, if you give a damn about an infrastructure and you're actually going to do something to change it, two things are going to happen. You're going to have to increase wages to get interest in American citizens to apply for these jobs and take on these responsibilities, or you're going to keep wages where they are and get all these migrants that don't even fucking want to be here, force them into the jobs. Because I'm seeing like at the hotels and the restaurants here in New Orleans, that's all that's working in the back. From the processing plants, like at the gator plants and the fish plants and the meat plants, it's all immigrants. It's immigrants and maybe 4 or 5 people that speak English.
Like Hispanics or other kinds of immigrants?
I can't tell. I don't want to make that assumption, but like they definitely look Hispanic and they definitely, I don't know if they're coming from Mexico, Guatemala, Brazil. I don't know. But like whenever I used to do my stops, it's all Hispanic workers working at where your groceries being made, where your fish is being caught, where your food's being processed. It's mostly Hispanics.
Yeah.
Like that's where all the jobs are going to go real fucking quick if they're allowed to keep the wages that are what they are. Thankfully, I was working for a company that was paying moderately well, but I can only imagine what these other companies are willing to pay because we still have a very bad problem with diseases breaking out in our food, and we're supposed to have like a safe food processing system. Mm-hmm. There's more like E. coli in heads of lettuce than there are cuts of beef, which is so fucking weird to me.
Yeah. Like, how does that get there?
Like, they say it's runoff from livestock. Like if you have a livestock farm in a general vicinity and then it rains and then their feces gets in touch with the plant matter and it stays on the surface of the plant matter and then the plant matter gets processed and it gets spread. So like if it's something on the surface, you can usually kill it with like a good wash or searing heat or anything like that. But once you cut that product up,
it's inside
of it now. It's mixed in. So you got to either cook it thoroughly or with leafy greens, you got to heavily salt and wash them to get rid of all that bacteria. But like, I don't know, man. I'm very excited to see where all this gets us. Cause like now the technology is catching up with us because we're going to have are you going to get chipped?
Hell no.
You're not getting chipped? You're not going to get that chip, man?
Bro, let me tell you what's going to happen. You're going to get that chip and you're going to be sitting on this fucking podcast and you're going to say, man, I regret getting that chip now. It's going to be the same way as that fucking
Every
vaccine.
hour, I'm going to have to give you an ad break. This opinion is brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's.
Like, get your ass out of here, man. No,
dude, I'm kind of excited. I'm excited for other people to get it so I can see what's going down. But as soon as he got the green light, I'm like, bro, this is it. Like, this is it. Like,
it's insane. I get it for people that have issues. Like if you can't see, get a chip and maybe be able to see. Like that's a cool thing. But if you're a fucking normal dude walking around and you want a chip because it makes you a cyborg,
this is America, son.
Like no, go for it.
You can't chip him without chipping me. I want it too.
But by all means, if that's what you want to do, go for it.
Y'all handed out the chips. I want it.
But I personally think it's a bad idea.
Hey, look, like I said, I'm a huge sci-fi horror nerd. I've seen every scenario it goes and it never turns out good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, we live in reality, right? Sci-fi is just movies.
Dude, we never, integrating humans with technology into that extreme rarely ever turns out well. And like, you're right. If you have some type of mental or physical disability that can be aided by this chip, by all means, get the chip if that's what you want to do. But this chip is going to get more and more advanced as it goes on. The integration of it is going to be more seamless and more painless and more common. Just you see it every day with what is a gender, what is race. Like this has been slowly getting us primed for half human, half machine hybrids. That's definitely the next step in human evolution as far as I see.
Like, I get it. I see where you're going. I watched a show one time. The show's called The Colony. Mm-hmm. And in The Colony, they touched on this. Spoilers for anyone who's watching. This group of entities came to the planet, and they basically took over the entire planet. And they were aliens. But you never saw the aliens. All you saw is these machines the aliens sent down to the planet. And it turns out they were actually helping humans fight off another race of aliens that were coming. But what these entities were, because in season 3, they drug it out for a long fucking time. But in season 3, you finally see one of the actual entities, not just the robots they sent down. The entity was also a robot. And the entity was telling them that it used to be a flesh and blood entity, just like you and I, but they figured out a way to transfer their consciousness over into machines. So now that they're these machines. So I think that's eventually where we're going to head, but I don't think there are any humans on this planet right now that are smart enough to figure that one out.
They're working on it right now.
You keep saying that, but like what we're talking about doing is beyond comprehension. I know it's beyond my comprehension. I've never met a human that could fully understand this. We can't even figure out how to work an economy. Like what makes you think? We know
how to work an economy. We just also know how to work it to our benefit. That's the angle you're not seeing.
So we know how to hack it. So So transfer your conscience over into a cyborg that can be hacked very easy.
Look, they've given enough money to foreign entities to show you that every problem that we currently have in America is non-existent. It's a problem because we allow it to be a fucking problem. They've had enough money to fund homelessness 10 times over.
Dude, money's nothing. Money's just a mindset anyway.
But like money also means resources. Cause like, what does Ukraine have? How is giving them all this money benefiting us in the long run?
That's money laundering, dude. They're giving Ukraine money. Ukraine's paying the politicians back. That's what that is. That's all it is.
You can't send any of that money, any of that time, any of that resource our way. We've been putting up with this shit and dealing with this shit for years and years and years and years.
Okay, back to the robots.
Yeah,
no, I'm in agreement about Ukraine and the money situation. That's fucking crazy. It's crazy to me it's even happening. But the robot situation is, you just said that we can hack systems. So you would put yourself into a hackable robot over being a human that actually has some free will?
I was joking about me getting the chip. Okay.
That's why I say I think it's a bad idea. Think about, like I said, what they're doing with smart cars. They're hacking smart cars right now to manipulate humans.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you put yourself in a computer, bro, you're like...
I just want to see what it's like to connect my brain to the internet once. That's it.
Take a bunch of mushrooms. Take a bunch of mushrooms.
I've done that.
Put your feet in the ground.
I need to do that more.
Connect to Mother Earth's computer.
I need to do that more for sure. I will admit that.
Like, I feel like there's like an energetic web around us at all times.
That's the theory behind alien invasions. Like when we kept not dropping those nukes, we kept interfering with the universal energy matrix. So whenever we dropped one of those nukes, it sent a pulse to the advanced civilizations like, hey, they're blowing shit up over here. Yeah. Oh, we need to stop them from doing that. And that's when they say that aliens started showing up around our nuclear power plants and everything. Because like, hey, y'all are doing shit that we told y'all not to do thousands of years ago.
Yeah, I fully believe that, man. I think that's what happens.
It makes sense. It's a nice theory for sure.
Well, I think that's what happens when you take psychedelics, though. You're actually tapping into this.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the internet.
Yeah. But that's the thing. We don't have as ease of access to that network than we would our man-made internet. And I definitely see other people being ready and willing to get the chip because
man, have you seen what's on the internet? Like, do you really want to connect to that fucking thing? Like this podcast is going to be on the internet.
That's fine. But like, I'm more concerned about the things I haven't seen that are on the internet. Cause like, the internet that we use as everyday citizens is only not even a fraction of what's actually fucking on it.
True. Yeah. So what if you get your chip and you're connected to the internet and for some reason, you get like a virus or something and all that you see is 2 girls, 1 cup over and over again.
Lord.
Or you see that guy sitting on that jar and just collapsing in his asshole.
That's the risk you run
over and over again.
That's the risk you run when you hook your brain up to the internet. That's the risk you run. That's why I'm good with the visor. I'm good with the Apple Vision.
I like those.
I can't wait till those get like better integrated. But like as far as me actually getting a chip injected into my brain, no, I'd have to be like a vegetable for me to even consider that. Like,
yeah, I would. If I was a vegetable, I'd consider it.
Yeah,
like I said, if I had an ailment, I would consider doing that.
No, but like I definitely see that becoming available and more people than you think being ready and willing to jump on it.
Yeah,
really, really quickly.
Oh, bro, there's some crazy fucking people on this planet.
I think that's the end goal, to have everybody mesmerized and focused on spending money where you don't need them spending money. Like McDonald's is working on tech that will stream advertisements to your brain while you're asleep. Dude. They're working on that shit right now.
How?
I don't know. I think it's through radio signals. It has to be something with radio or Wi-Fi, but it'll subconsciously display in your brain while you're asleep.
So along that point, I have heard that there are crystals in the brain. You know, the pineal gland's one, but there are other crystals. There are also crystals in your ears, and they're like magnetite crystals around the other parts of your brain. So maybe they're trying to like tap into those because, you know, crystals or all radios are just oscillating crystals. Yeah, you send a radio signal through a crystal and it oscillates at that frequency, and that's how you pick up the radio signals, and it gets transferred back into electricity, goes in your ears and vibrates the speaker.
No, I'm just starting to get into like the whole healing frequencies and pineal gland and everything, like decalcifying and all that stuff, because there's so much research coming out now that like there's a tomb in Egypt where they just scattered a bunch of sand and they played a vibrational frequency on top of the tomb.
Cymatics.
And then all these hieroglyphs started forming just from him playing that sound. Yeah. So there's definitely something to it. And there's also like the guy with the water hose, and you can play different sounds next to the water and it'll display like in a squiggle or like in a wave or like jagged edges. So there's definitely some in that. I've been trying to get into like the sensory deprivation chambers. I really want to do like a full body detox with like some sun work. And like we were talking about TRT, I want to get on those peptides, son. That's really what I want. I want every joint in my body to feel like I'm 10 years old again. Remember, we used to be able to like jump off of shit and run and fall down like nothing happened. And now it's like the slightest bit of damage. It's like, fuck you, dude.
That's got to be just due to inactivity.
Yeah, I'd say that. I'd say that for sure.
So I didn't do cardio for a while, and I was heavier for that film I was doing. And then I went and tried to play in my alumni basketball game at my high school, and my knee was like fucking jacked. I've never had that happen to me before in my life.
Did you stretch before?
It wasn't even about stretching. It was about inactivity because I never did cardio. But since then, I've been nursing it, and I've actually been doing cardio and doing weights on my legs, and it's strengthened the joints and stuff back up.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's just inactivity. But the peptides do help for sure. Peptides, stem cells, things like that.
I really want to get it. I want that to hurry up and be mainstream.
Those are the things we should be focusing on more than shoving a fucking chip in your brain.
We're all going to get to a point where it's the Fleshies versus the Technos.
How many bullets do you think they can take? So I'm asking.
It depends on the modifications.
I mean,
if we're lucky, all we got to do is hit them on the implant, and that's it. Like, that's it. You got an exposed spot where I have to hit you, and we're good. This sounds like a good like premise for a video game.
What's cyberpunk, man?
Yeah. That shit's trippy though.
Yeah,
Like,
the shit they do. I like watching the like Netflix shows, the cyberpunk. You know, because they're talking about like all these upgrades these guys get, where they're hacking into each other and hacking into systems just through their brains. Like one guy got this like thing on his back that tapped into his central nervous system, which allowed him to move super speed. It allowed him to visually see the world in slow motion. Like, that's insane. I even get what it is, because these are bugs on this planet that see in slow motion.
Oh yeah.
To us, slow motion. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, look at cats. Cats' reaction time. Like, they're literally seeing in slow motion. If we had cats' ability to see and the ability to process things around us that time, it would be slow motion for most people. I think that's even like how some people get really good at video games, and how some athletes are so good, because it's not really that they're, you know, that great at the game. It's that they're seeing a different version of the game.
Yeah. No, like speed runners, they learn how to like clip through walls and stuff, like do shit that, like, if you're approaching the game from a normal standpoint, and it's a comparison to life as well. You're approaching the game the same way everyone else does. So you have to follow the same rules as everyone else. Whenever you can look at the game objectively as a game and it's nothing but that, you start thinking, what happens if I do this? Okay, that happens. What happens if I do this and this at the same time, and I keep doing this while I do that?
Bro, I saw someone speed run Zelda, A Link to the Past, the Super Nintendo version, in like 5 minutes the other day. And they did it in one video. And this guy, the shit that he did made no fucking sense. And I'm like, how in the hell does someone figure this out? Like, what drugs is this guy on to sit here and figure this fucking thing out? I mean, he was like, none of it made even sense. He went to a wall and just like did a spin. And he went through the wall. And I'm like, who in their right mind can figure this shit out? Like, what is he going through the code or something? I don't get it.
Programmer. Like, yeah. Some people go through the code. Some people is word of mouth. Like, If you drop a bomb here, you'll glitch through these set of trees and shit like that. Like they just learn. That's legit what they do is they just sit down and learn. They get a system and then they learn ways on how to break it. That's where I'm trying to get my mind at. It's like I need to be able to look back at everything that's happening around me without being objectively involved in it. I need to just see it for what it is and then be able to assess my next moves accordingly. I have a bad habit of just getting too involved with my environment and not being able to see.
Like emotionally involved?
I guess emotionally involved and just part of that whatever moment is happening right then and there. I can't think of at a drop of a dime, like how can I better assess the situation or how can I better react to what's going on around me? Like I'm very reactionary.
I'll tell you how I overcame that. If you wake up every day and tell yourself that you're God, you eventually start seeing the world as if God would. And the world really doesn't affect you. You're in the world and you're moving through it. You're navigating it then. So then you don't really have an emotional attachment to anything. You're just kind of like, I'm here right now. Like, what's going to happen today and how am I going to overcome it? And a lot of people say that's fucking weird, but
no,
it's what works for me.
I can give it a shot for sure.
Yeah.
It was like so many different and foreign concepts are being introduced into my head now that we have, I guess, a transparency of information because of Julian Assange and Edward Snowden and people like that. There's always going to be people that try to like detract and say like certain things are a lie, but when certain things like the whole Maui situation, like 20 years ago, maybe nobody would say the government's blowing up houses to increase property prices. Like now that's completely plausible. Mm-hmm. Especially if it happened in one place and then it happens another place in the exact same way. And it's like, why are these two villas being caught on fire at the same time? What's going on here? Well, like now that we live in an age of, I guess, widely accepted government skepticism, I hope that that's the world that we live in because this is how you feel about this upcoming election year. I know you're not like a political person, but
yeah, I don't really vote. I'm so like, I know who's running and shit. I've heard that Vivek Swami guy. I've heard him say some really cool stuff, but at the same time, I've also heard some bad things about him.
He stepped down.
Did he step down?
He's endorsing Trump.
Okay, I'm a fan of is it not JFK, but Robert
RFK Jr.
Yeah, RFK Jr. I'm a fan of him. I think that we're such a shallow society though that people aren't going to be able to overlook his voice.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I think that. I think it's a big.
We can look over Biden and Trump's age, but not his voice.
Well, it's because we can still relate to them. Like we can't relate to him because when he speaks, he sounds like a fucking computer.
True.
And I do, but I like where he stands with things. I think I definitely do not want Biden back in. Like that guy needs to go into a retirement home.
Yeah.
So I guess the last best person would be Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Like I don't have a problem with any of these guys. I think the real problem is with Congress. I think that the president is basically a face.
Yeah.
It's like the CEO of a corporation.
Yeah.
Like those guys really don't have any power anyway. It's the stock shareholders that have the power in a company.
Yep.
And I think that Congress is the shareholders of the company of the United States of America. And until they're, have an accountability structure, nothing's going to change. So it doesn't really matter who's in office.
No, I don't think that ever mattered. I just want Trump to win so I can rub it in my ex-girlfriend's face.
So you're going to go out and vote then? Are you going to go vote?
It might be the last time we ever get to vote. Like the way people are talking is like, this shit's about to get real.
Oh, because
they say it every year, but I just like.
I think if the war actually does pop off, it's done. But
we're always at war though. We're at war right now.
Well, we're not really at war. Our
money's funding it.
Yeah, we're in proxy wars. If a world war pops off, who was it that said the last war was ended with a nuke? The next war will be fought with weapons beyond your comprehension, and World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones.
Yeah,
like I think
that's Einstein. I think
so. If a war does pop off, I think now we have weapons that we can't even the common man can't even grasp.
Dude, Like the whole the concept of an EMP, the concept that there may or may not be a Russian EMP floating above us right now, ready to shut all this shit down and have us doing shit by hand, going back to pen and paper. This is fucking terrifying.
Dude, that's not even a scary one. The Poseidon missile that Russia has is a fucking scary missile.
Cross-continental missile?
No, this is a nuke they're launching underwater that's creating a super tidal wave that will just wipe cities off the map. So think about the entire coast of America just getting wiped off the map. And that's where most of the population lives, on the coast. They have that, and that's just the ones we know about. We know about the Poseidon missile. We also know, I heard this new one that we have in the States. It's a missile that doesn't explode. It just has swords that pop out and it spins. Oh, so they use this to take out one of the like Iraqi or Afghanistan terrorists. What they did was they knew he went on his balcony every day to have coffee. Mm-hmm. So they sent 2 of those missiles at him, and whenever they got close to him, they started spinning, and the swords came out and just chopped him up.
Lord.
So I mean, the shit we have right now, military wise, it's insane. So there's no telling if a world war does pop out. No telling what's going to happen.
What's the most insane weapon that you can think of? Like if you were going to destroy a continent with one push of a button.
I was hoping you asked me this. I've been waiting to answer this question.
Like if you just wanted a continent gone, a continent and all of its inhabitants gone in a day, how would you go about doing that? Would it be like combustion? Would it be biochemical? Would it be like a slow burn, like cutting off supply lines? There's so many ways to fucking do it.
Well, cutting off supply lines wouldn't be a thing that would kill everyone in a day.
If they stay, well, yeah, not in a day.
Yeah, I'm thinking about like if I could push a button and it would all just be done. What I would do is I would inject everyone with a vaccine.
Oh, here we go.
And then I would create a system of satellites that could beam down radio waves. And then I would turn those radio waves on and fry everyone from the inside out. The vaccine would be full of graphene oxide.
What's graphene oxide?
It's just a superconductive material. So if you send those radio waves through graphene oxide, my theory is they'll heat up and just burn you from the inside out.
Oh, so you're trying to melt people from the inside out.
And I hope I didn't just give away a weapon for someone to make one day.
See,
that's where my brain can go. That's the only way I can think of killing an entire continent full of people. Does that scare you?
No, because like, I guess your way would definitely leave like a lot of the infrastructure and a lot of the flora and fauna intact.
You just take care of the problem.
Yeah. Because like, if my imagination leads me to where if you're trying to get rid of people, you want to do as less damage to the environment as possible. Right. That's where all the resources are.
Yeah, you want the land.
Yeah, you want the fucking land. So you can't do anything biochemical because that, God knows how long that's going to last. It's supposed to last 24 hours, and then you find out it can stay on surfaces for 48. Like, you find a new shit about that. I recently watched a documentary on salmonella, and I had no idea, like, when it dries, it can survive there for weeks. It can still be there. Until you hit it with that bleach, it's still salmonella. So yeah.
So how would you do it?
Me, I'm a destructive bastard. I want as much collateral damage as possible. So I would say like one of those Jericho bombs, one of those bombs that splits into other bombs. Like it's just a big bomb. And once it gets to a certain altitude, it splits into more bombs. And it's just like a rain of fire.
That would have to be huge, though, to kill an entire continent.
Yeah, it's continuous. It's a continuous just rain of explosions.
So then you just have a big crater? You have to like wait?
It would not probably be a big crater. There would probably be a crater in the center. But like if for me, either that or an earthquake. Because an earthquake would just reset the land.
Oh, yeah.
It would just swallow up all the infrastructure and all the people and everything, but the land's still there. Now, whether or not that land is still usable, you never know. But
what could you do to make an earthquake? That's a good question.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they've discovered how to control that with all these various underground bunkers that we have across the US.
I mean, that would probably be easier than what I said. But at the same time, I feel like we already kind of have the infrastructure set up to do what I said too.
Oh yeah, no, I could definitely see
the only problem with what I said is that you would have the people that are against the vaccines, and you still have to take them out some way. So the earthquake might be a better option.
I don't know. Maybe the vaccine, instead of melting you, it activates you. It turns on your obedient mode. So you'll be able to be controlled by whoever controls that signal into rallying the other people who aren't controlled. So
you to make your own army.
Yeah, your sole mission becomes to find the people who aren't infected, gather them around to get them infected, to add to your ranks.
Well, bro, when Starlink turns on your vaccine, you come after me. I'm gonna have to put you down. I'm gonna have to put you down.
I don't think Elon had anything to do with that. I don't think.
You don't think he's part of it?
Of the vaccine thing? No, I think that was the one party he wasn't invited to.
But I think he did create a satellite that could be utilized for what I was saying.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. He's our world's Lex Luthor. He's legit Lex Luthor. He's legitimately Lex Luthor.
So he could have accidentally, but I mean, I think U.S. government gave him a bunch of grant funding for that too.
Oh yes, yeah. Definitely. Anything that has to do with communication, especially on that magnitude, the government has to have a piece of that. Like that's why Facebook is still a thing. Facebook has been called out for so many things, and it's still here. It's not going. You can sue them into oblivion. The CIA owns Facebook. Like it's the greatest thing they've ever created.
Oh, Zucky boy.
I mean, it's the best thing you could do as far as like data mining and all that stuff. And the fact that we don't get paid for that is just so gut wrenching.
Yeah, that would be one thing the blockchain could take care of too, is you could actually get paid for your data on that.
Where do you see with the immigration, with AI, where do you see the face of work in general going? Like, do you see that being phased out? Do you see like,
dude, it's the whole migrant situation.
Yes,
I'm glad you brought that up again, because I actually had something to say earlier, but I forgot. It's a very weird thing, because I've seen where it's not just Hispanic people that are coming across the border. It's also Arabs and Africans and Chinese. Like it's everything. And it's like young men of working age. So that could be the argument, or it could be that, they're implanting people in the US to, create some kind of military invasion.
Oh no, there's definitely bad actors for sure, because there's no monitoring everybody that's getting through. Like the 300, the millions that we know of are just the ones that we know of.
Right.
Like, because you got to keep in mind, there's been an invested interest in sneaking people into America for years. Mm-hmm. So like, there was recently a dude whose facial recognition data came out as like an 82% match for a world known terrorist. He looks at the camera and says, "You don't know who I am, but soon you will," and goes away, puts on his mask and walks away into the country.
That's me. Like whenever someone says some shit like that, I want to be able to just go,
we definitely need to be able to like get a hold of them for sure.
And that's I'm ruthless, man. I'm ruthless.
If
I don't even know, you don't go to jail, don't pass go, you're gone.
They say he was in Guantanamo Bay and got released, and now he's back to his old tricks. We
need to become Judge Dredd. They need to let me be Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
Maybe judge and jury.
Yeah. I mean, we might get there, because like no one wants to be a cop anymore, which I don't blame them.
I don't fucking blame them either.
I don't blame them at all.
I had some cops coming here the other day. It was cops. They were fire department came here the other day to do our fire checks. Mm-hmm. And I was asking them, I was like, I got a podcast. You guys want to come on and talk about the infrastructure of the city and stuff? And they all looked at each other, because like 4 or 5 guys, and they're like, "Dude, we can't come on your podcast and talk about it. We'll all lose our jobs."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Well, do you know any cops that want to come on the podcast?" And like, they also can't come on it, but we will push the word out.
Yeah.
So like, they're all fucking terrified.
Yeah, man.
That they're going to lose their jobs by saying how shitty this infrastructure is and how shitty their environment is, work environment.
I mean, it's a commonly known thing that eventually New Orleans is going to be underwater. So if you have money for a fan boat, go ahead and get it. It's gonna come in real handy real soon. That's why I'm so like on the fence about buying property in general, because like you don't know what's still gonna be here by the time that shit's being paid off. Like I just got out of a car lease thinking I was going to have that car for at least a solid 5 more years. No, destroyed, done, finito.
It broke down on you?
I slammed on brakes because somebody pulled in front of me. And because it was so wet outside, I just ended up spinning off the road into the woods.
But it's also so hard to have a vehicle in this city. Like this city's very, very hard on vehicles.
Yeah.
That's why I won't buy a new vehicle as long as I live here. I'm going to drive the same fucking car until it breaks down, because you have your potholes. You have people that are constantly dinging your car. Yep. There was a guy because we have thin streets here, right? So I was parked on the side of the street here the other night. The guy just drove by and sideswiped my car.
Wow.
Yeah, it didn't hurt my car at all. Like a little dents in it, but then it paint marks like all the way down the side of it. But I'm like, Jesus Christ.
It didn't stop.
Didn't stop, just kept going. And he probably didn't have insurance. That's why he kept going.
Yeah, and that's a very common thing. There's so many people here with cars and no insurance or cars. My favorite combo is you have a car but no license or insurance.
Yeah.
So basically, you just out here free balling it, and you want me to get in this thing with you. I'm good, bro.
And people realize that the cops have bigger things to worry about.
Yeah.
So a cop is probably not going to pull you over in the city unless you're doing something fucking crazy.
Yeah. No, we need cops. We need people that want to work on the border patrol. Because,
I mean, there's your work right there. Do you think they're actually going to would they hire immigrants for police positions?
Oh, yeah. I think if it gets to a point where normal citizens don't apply for these types of jobs, then yes, they will integrate migrants into those positions. Like that's what my whole thing for people that are living here that are struggling, looking for work. You need to look now, because these jobs are not going to be here much longer, because it's filling up with people who want to take our currency and send it back to Mexico so their family can live a better life in Mexico. They don't even want to be here. That's the huge thing. The only people that actually want to be here are the people that are coming in through Mexico from Europe. Those are like hopefully high skilled laborers that just so happen to have the means and the money to get here through Mexico. But everybody that's a migrant or an asylum seeker or anything like that, they're just going to get the lowest of the low jobs, filling up spots that Americans don't want to fulfill right now until their label becomes skilled labor, and so on and so forth.
If they're even working, man, I saw where the people that are in New York are literally just living in hotels.
I think
there's 5 hotels in New York that are full of these people. And they don't have to do anything. They're just living in hotels. They're
still trying to figure out what to do with them. They don't know what to do with them.
Fucking put them on a plane and send them back.
You're like, I think eventually it's going to get to a part where it's just completely open borders, because I don't see them. If Trump gets elected, I don't see anybody letting him reinforce any type of borders or walls or anything like that. If Biden stays the guy, I don't see him bringing down the hammer on any of that, period, because they want that labor. They want those voters, because they're going to vote Democrat. If you tell them the face of the country that gave you a phone and a place to stay and a job is Democrat.
I've seen them people saying this stuff. They're like, we're voting Joe Biden, but why shouldn't even get a chance to vote? They're not citizens.
Yeah.
That's why I say you should have a valid U.S. citizen ID to be able to vote.
Yeah.
And a lot of people make the argument that, there are some people that don't have the means to get it. Everyone has a fucking ID.
Yeah.
And the ones that don't, okay, don't let them vote. But people that aren't from this country should not have a say.
I don't think that at all.
You don't think that? You think
no? I don't think no. If you're not from here or contributing, especially contributing here in any type of way, you should not get to vote on any type of policy.
But what if they say that I'm paying taxes? I have a job here,
but you have to. Everybody pays taxes. That's the thing.
How do you say that they're a contributing member of society so they can vote?
Wait, so like you're asking me, like if somebody's still paying taxes, they're contributing?
Yeah, well, I'm in total agreement with you. I'm just saying, like, if we were gonna actually let these migrants vote, how could they say, now I'm a contributing member of society? Like
they gain citizenship through the normal pathways, no matter how difficult or convoluted they may be. And that's when you are in the conversation.
Isn't that a weird thing too, that you can gain citizenship just by having knowledge of the country? Because then that's what they have to do. They have to take a test.
Yeah, it's like a little bullshit test. Yeah. Some people say it's hard. Some people say it's difficult. I used to work with people who did it, and they're like, it was the most simplest thing I ever had to fucking do in my life.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
Yeah, I've never had to apply for citizenships in another country, so I wouldn't know how difficult or easy it is. But I imagine if we do want people coming in, it's not too fucking hard. And birth rates were dropping, and now we got all these nifty new migrants here to fill in the gaps. There were so many problems, some of them getting worse, but some of them at the same time solving themselves because women don't want to have kids because like now they're in the workforce as well. And now men are holding off on marriage and having kids because shit's fucking expensive out here.
That's a problem that needs to be fixed.
That UBI should have been hit. Like the UBI should have been hit. As soon as they started sending Ukraine money, they're like, okay, we got to start giving them money too.
Yeah.
Because you can't fucking, they were going
the human race won't survive if the birth rate doesn't
our country won't survive for sure. Like, I just think if this was one of those things to where you could have incentivized women to want to be mothers and or housewives all over again by guaranteeing them a certain amount of financial compensation depending on how many kids they had every month. If you really want those birth rates to boom.
Well, I mean, that's how they broke apart the nuclear family. Is they incentivized women that if you have children and you don't have a man, you're now a single mother.
Oh, you're talking about the child support thing?
Yes.
Well, see,
that's not even child support. Like the government gives women money for having kids. Like that's a thing.
Just period.
What the government should do is say, if you have a husband and you have a kid, then we'll help you out.
I figured they wanted the husbands still out there in the streets making more kids.
Well, no, I mean,
they do that.
No, they do that to break up the nuclear family because that's what makes kids degenerates is they don't have a mother and a father at home. They only have one parent that's giving them advice. Like you have to have both, to make a healthy, well-balanced human being.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
So yeah, you have a mother and a father, then we'll help you out and you make some babies.
No. So wait, in what way are women being paid to have kids? Besides like the child tax credit during tax season.
I don't know this. I don't have like the stats or anything in front of me. I just know what I've heard through the years. And that's one of the reasons that they say that there are a lot of single black mothers out there.
Oh yeah. No, that's been a thing for sure. That's been a thing.
Welfare checks and shit like that.
No, you see it with ball players, like all these video vixens want to have a baby with a football or basketball player.
So well, that's them taking the money off the man though. I'm talking about like welfare checks and things like that. The more kids you have, the more dependents you have on you, the more money you get welfare.
Golly, I gotta look into that. It can't be that good.
Yeah, I think it is, man. Good. I think you get quite a bit of money if you.
Lord, really?
So that's incentivized, but it's incentivized to be a single parent. Like you want to incentivize the nuclear family, the male and the female with a child.
With single parents, it's easy to infiltrate these kids' minds. It's easy to influence them to do things they normally. Think about like how many people in prison right now were probably raised in either a single parent household or an orphanage.
You don't have to think about it. The stats are out there, man. Like they did studies on this stuff and it's a lot.
Damn.
It's a lot. It's like a huge percentage.
Damn.
I saw a thing today. It may have to be the last thing we touch on, unless you got something really important you want to say.
We touched on it? Okay. Nothing super important.
Well, now we were talking about the border situation, right? I saw this thing today that I thought was fucking brilliant. They basically said that instead of building a wall, we need to build a new canal. You know how we have the Panama Canal, which is in South America. So instead of having that, ships could actually bypass that canal when they wanted to get around and just go through the Mexico-United States border. So we would have this like huge canal that would be hard for people to cross. And we could also tax people every time that we wanted the ships to go through. So we would create a new form of income for the United States of America and solve the border situation.
Would it be cheaper than the wall?
I mean,
that's all I'm worried about.
I can't imagine dredging out because there's already like some water there.
Yeah.
So dredging that out deeper and making it wider so that ships could get through. I can't imagine that being that much more expensive. We dredge right now. So, and maybe you still, because there's a wall down there. It's just not a big wall. Yeah. So keep that fence there, dredge on the other side and control that. I don't know. I thought it sounds like a pretty good solution.
I'm fine with them being here. It's just whenever you get to the 3 or 4 handfuls of them that are ex-MS-13 and ex-gang members, right, and like those conflicts spill over here, and then you got people getting hit in collateral damage because of that. Like if I get shot over some shit that happened in Guatemala, best believe I'm gonna be pissed.
Oh, that's a good point. You said that.
That's such bullshit to me.
Well, no, do you? You don't have to say this if you don't want to, but do you have a weapon? Do you have a piece?
Oh, I'm getting one for sure.
So I saw this thing. Whoever our governor is, or I know nothing about politics, but whoever he is, they just put a bill down where it says that you can legally concealed carry without a permit now.
Here in Louisiana?
Yeah. There's a lot of upsetness going around, a lot of bitchiness going around right now. But I think it's actually not a bad idea because the bad people already conceal and carry. But if you have a law where it says that the good people can conceal and carry, then that takes away the likelihood that you are going to get shot. So if you have your piece on you all the time and one of these people do come up to you, game over.
Yeah. I just know that there's a lot of illegal activity that comes from the border. And I know we funded it. I know that we benefited from it in some type of way, shape, or fashion, but now it's spilling out into our streets. And I just don't want to get caught in the crosshairs of that because we still already have our like localized conflicts happening here.
Well, I mean, it's okay to get caught in the crosshairs of it if you can shoot back. It's whenever you get caught in the crossfire and you have no way to defend yourself, that's where the problem comes in. But if you're a there's another great quote about this. It says the only way to stop the only way to stop a bad guy that's violent is for a good guy to be more violent. So if you have a way to protect yourself and the ones around you, then if somebody walks in with a gun and pulls it out and says, "Give me your fucking money," boom, done. Like the odds are that person doesn't know how to use that gun anyway.
Yeah.
Because I've been to the range here in New Orleans, and the people that shoot down there, horrible, dude.
East?
Yeah, the one in New Orleans East. Yeah,
Gosh.
so you see these kids down there with these pistols. They're fucking not even like aiming. They just want to look cool because they got a gun. And it's like if you actually get someone in a room with someone who knows how to use a pistol, it's game over for them instantly. Lights out. I would carry mine with me all the time if that law does come into practice.
I think the closer it gets to election day, the more you should have it on you. Because that's when people choose to act stupid, especially around here.
That's a good point.
Yeah, we can wrap it up if you need to.
Yeah, Malcolm, where can the people find you out? Or at
Blakkk Magikkk on everything. At symbol BLAKKK _MAGIKKK.
You wild, man. You wild.
It's literally everything. It's mostly for like creative art and music. I don't really talk about politics and shit because
we just do that on here.
Yeah, just on here. Cause like, I don't know. This place brings out that side of me.
I feel that, man. It's a safe place.
Yeah. I mean, safe-ish is about as safe as you can get on Ferret Street nowadays.
Well, Malcolm, thank you for coming today, brother.
No problem.
I look forward to the next one, man.
Yep.